Hello, my fabulous keto friends. I have something so special for you today, a twist on a classic. Intrigued? We all know about tiramisu, the wonderful mascarpone and ladyfingers soaked in espresso and Kahlua or some kind of liqueur. I am doing a light spring twist on that. It's actually really good any time of the year. Can you guess what the twist might be? Look what I have in my pocket. Oh my goodness, a lemon. I am going to make lemon tiramisu. I asked ChatGPT to come up with a recipe for me for lemon tiramisu. My friend Shannon Knight, and you can check her out at Angels for Shannon. She's also in a movie called Becoming the Keys, which I'll tag down below. And she's a stage 4 breast cancer survivor. Amazing story. She's been asking me to make tiramisu for her. So I hope she doesn't mind that I'm making it lemon tiramisu instead of classic coffee flavored. I think this is going to be very exciting and we'll figure it out together. I've already encountered some tricks with the recipe because my friend ChatGPT said use rum for the soak. And I'm going through the recipe this morning and there's a lemon soak, which is sweetener and lemon rind and a few other things. And I'm like, okay, well, where's the rum? So, and I made limoncello, homemade limoncello. And you know, I tossed the last of it just a little while ago, a few weeks ago. Limoncello, sugar-free limoncello would be perfect for this, just perfect for this. But in lieu of that, I have some gold rum. You could use, you could use, where is my camera? You could use gold rum. You could use dark rum. I want to tell you this though, the soak, you know how you soak typical tiramisu, you soak the ladyfingers with espresso and alcohol. Well, my recipe, ChatGPT said, soak it with rum, dark rum. That would be great. Then as I'm reading the recipe this morning, he says, oh, there's a lemon soak, which is lemon juice and zest and vanilla extract and sweetener and all kinds of things. And I'm like, well, do I use the rum or do I use the lemon soak? So I kind of mixed them together. I put some allulose in here and I should have used the liquid allulose. Anyway, and a little bit of vanilla extract and the gold rum. So let's see what goes on. Now, the other really special part of this recipe, and the main reason why I wanted to make lemon tiramisu instead of coffee tiramisu was because I had made a lemon loaf, which you may remember, and I used allulose instead of erythritol. And so the recipe called for sweetener, and I like allulose better, but I didn't know that it might not work in this. So I did, and it fell. But the cake is fine. It's just, I made it pretty even. If you watch that video, which I will link to later. Anyway, I took the lemon loaf. I put it in food saver bags. And you know, you can freeze delicate baked goods or breads, chaffles, whatever. You can freeze them and put them in a food saver bag, but freeze them first before you suck the air out of them so they don't completely collapse. So I thawed these out. Sticky. And then I realized I need more. So I thought out more. And you can tell my lemon loaf, this is going to be such a great use for it. You know, there are no mistakes, only learning experiences. So I had this in the food saver bag. It's been about, I don't know, a month, maybe a few weeks, 2 weeks. And you can tell how moist it is. That's very wet. Now, when I froze them, I put wax paper. Remember wax paper? I put wax paper between the slices. So if I ever needed to get one out and not everything, I would be able to separate them. And it's okay that it's not beautiful because they're going to go in a compote dessert cup. Can you think of anything prettier to do with this cake, this lemon loaf? I will link down below to the lemon loaf too. It was super easy to make. My only mistake was I used allulose instead of erythritol. So it doesn't have the same structure, the same chemical structure. But this is going to take this, I don't want to call it a disaster. It's delicious. But I'm going to take this and make it world class. Super easy. We're going to start by making the mascarpone mixture. I went back to ChatGPT and I said, can we do half a recipe? There's only so much of anything I can eat except burgers and steak. So I asked ChatGPT to do the half a recipe. So that's what we're going to do today. So that's just 4 ounces of mascarpone cheese and 4 ounces of room temperature softened cream cheese and 4 ounces of whipped cream. Let me tell you something about the whipped cream, as it's going everywhere. I have trouble keeping my ingredients in a bowl, okay? So I was almost out of heavy whipping cream, and the last time I went to the store, the Horizon Organic whipping cream, it expires like in a week, and normally it expires in a month. And I had the same date, and it was already in chunks. So I was at the grocery store, and I bought their house brand of heavy whipping cream and was shocked to find out that it has carrageenan in it, which is also like in the rotisserie chickens that you know where. And it's a carcinogen. So yes, this is going to be the last time I have that, but I didn't want to just throw it out. Well, I kind of did. And speaking of allulose, this is 3 tablespoons, and I will put the recipe down below in the description. This is just a little more than 3 tablespoons because you know allulose just isn't as sweet as erythritol and the other ingredient, the other alternative sweeteners. So I've got some allulose in there. I've got 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice from lemons from my tree. They're starting to blossom, and I still have fruit on there from last time. So time to take a chainsaw to it and get rid of all the fruit and the big branches. This is the zest of 1 lemon. Oh, so fantastic. It smells amazing, especially when it's fresh. And we need just a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I tend to go over on that all the time. This is going to be so much fun to assemble. Wait until you see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to mix this. I already made a mistake. You're supposed to whip the heavy whipping cream and keep it separate. Make the mascarpone cheese cream mix. Make the mascarpone mix. God. Make the mascarpone mix and then fold it into the whipped cream. Well, I have the whipped cream in here already, so let's go. The recipe says mix it until it's just blended, just mixed. So that's my mascarpone cream. Let's see if it's, oh, it's really nice. It's bright. It's lemony. I think it could be a little sweeter. I'm going to add, since I have it out, my liquid allulose, and I'm almost done with this bottle. So let me add a little bit of that, if it'll come out. We're at the very tail end here. Oh, 3 points over the shoulder. And I have to confess, this is my first time ever cooking with mascarpone. I always buy it, and then it goes bad, and then I throw it out because I couldn't think of anything to make with it. So I'm very excited that Shannon asked me to make a tiramisu. Much better. That's it. I'm always as surprised as anyone that that's it. So I ended up doing what I always love to do, which is just put everything in one bowl and wing it, right? Look at how beautiful that is. I think this is going to turn out great. Can you look at a recipe and think, that's going to be really good? Or do you have to make it and then find out? Now comes the really fun part, which is assembling them. And someone noticed that last time I said I was using my Friskies buffet glass, my little compote. You make martinis in these too. Anyway, so I have 2 of these. I never did take the other ones out of the box. And I thought, well, I could go get the rest of them and make 6 because this is going to make 6 servings. Or I could show you things. I could show you some alternative ways to serve this tiramisu. Now, keep in mind, you can also put it in a pan. You could put it in a ceramic serving dish and just layer it and put the cream in and layer it. But I have quite a collection of martini glasses. This one is Swarovski. It's beautiful. So the first step is to put the cake. Now we're going to do 2 layers. So you want some of your lemon loaf that will fit in the glass. And I'm going to kind of crumble it up here, you can see, so it's nice and flat. And I originally only thawed out 3 slices of my lemon loaf until I read that we have to do layers. I thought, okay, I need to defrost the rest of it too. So I have just the right amount. We're going to put these in these wonderful martini glasses. And this one is a wine glass that can double for anything else. I found these around the holiday time from Joy Jolt. Look at that. Okay, how easy is this? And when I was looking at the regular tiramisu recipes, all of them had you bake a keto cake for starters. And I just thought, I already have this lemon loaf. What a great use for it. And the lemon loaf was super easy to make. So I hope you'll make it, and I'll link it down below. So guess what comes next? We're going to brush it with the rum sauce. I used gold Jamaican rum, and I mixed it with some allulose, so it would be sweeter, and a little vanilla extract and a little bit of lemon juice. You could put some zest in that too. And I think it wouldn't be tiramisu if you didn't have that nice flavor in there. Of course, if you don't drink alcohol, skip it. Just make the lemon soak, which I will include in the recipe below, and I will put them as options. I can put, if you want to use rum or sugar-free limoncello. God, that would have been so good for this. But I don't think we're going to miss it. I still think this is going to give it that little bit of kick. We take the mascarpone cheese, and I'm going to use a tablespoon for it. I want to spread it around a little bit. I do have a little spatula here. Let's make sure we have enough for 2 layers. I'm so excited to see how this turns out. Okay, now what I'm going to do, if you can see, is I'm just going to take my little spatula, my little tiny spatula, and spread it all the way across. Super easy, right? Super, super. And then I'll do this on each of these. And just be very careful when you're doing this, when you're spreading it around, to take the spatula. Let me show you. Take the spatula and you just bring it over the cake. And that's it. And I'm going to crumble this. You won't even know it's crumbled when you go to eat it. You'll hit that cake. It's going to be amazing. And you know, I glazed the lemon loaf when I made it, so it's very moist. One of my favorite things to do is to make a keto dessert when I have friends over who aren't keto. I usually make things like steak, you know, the entree, something that they wouldn't even realize that it's in my food plan. I make a lemon ricotta cake that's super easy, and I think I shared in my video for that my friends asked me for the recipe, and they're not even on a keto lifestyle. So that's the best testimony, when somebody says, that is so good, and they're not even on keto. So this is, I think this is going to be one of those where you make up the lemon loaf, you have that, and then, you know, weeks later you thaw it out and you've got yet another fabulous dessert. So I have just a little extra cake here. I'm not happy unless it's all over my counter. I swear sometimes it's like the more I try to clean up, the worse things get. Now, what do you think I'm going to top these with when I'm all done? And after we put the second layer of cake on it, we're going to do the rum drip on it again, and then put the cream on it. You want to try to not mix the cake in with the mascarpone cream so that it doesn't turn out to be a big mess. Just press down lightly with the spatula as you spread that around. I think one of the keys to that is making sure that you have enough cream, because then you just spread it out and put it around, and it's very easy. I think I'm wearing as much as I'm putting in the cups. Oh my goodness. I am laughing because ChatGPT gave me a couple sets of directions on this. One of them says top with mascarpone and then garnish. And the other one says top with whipped cream, unsweetened whipped cream. Well, I have more whipped cream, in for a penny, in for a pound with this, right? And I am going to put it in a baggie so I can make it a little fancy. If you don't have a pastry bag or pretty flowery points for it, you can just take a baggie open it up. This will keep you from getting it all over the inside of the bag, and put it where you want it. And just fold that up like that around your coffee cup or a glass or anything. And then you put your filling, whatever it is you want to serve pretty. And I'll tell you what, I do this when I'm making deviled eggs so that I can pipe them out and they look beautiful. So you see how that goes? You just put it in, zip it up, shake it down to a corner. You see that? Okay, so we have a little opening there. Thank you for your help, cup. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little swirl. Just enough to make it a little bit fancy. I'm not quite done yet, you'll see. Everything is covered in whipped cream and mascarpone cream. Okay, so we've got 6 goblets here. Isn't that just perfect? And I took one of the tiniest lemons off my tree and I cut very thin slices just for a garnish so that you know it's not real tiramisu. And we just put one of these on the side of the whipped cream so that it looks absolutely stellar, beautiful. You could use 1 or 2. I cut them in half because I just thought that would be just perfect. And I'm just wedging it in there on the side of the whipped cream. I would call time on these now. I think they're done. They're just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful that is, with a little lemon piece as the garnish. Now, I have a big decision to make now. Which one should I eat? I think I'll take the guy right in the middle, the beautiful Swarovski crystal goblet. Look, can you see that? The whole stem is filled with small Swarovski crystals. It's just beautiful. Look at that. Oh, so gorgeous. How did I do that? And I did it so fast. All right, so let's see how the cake, the lemon loaf, the whipped cream, the mascarpone. Oh, you know how I rate all my recipes like it's a keeper, or I'm never making this again. I think my lemon loaf just got escalated. Wow, that is scrumptious. Oh, it's so light and airy. It's lemony. It's elegant. Look at this. Look at this. How beautiful is that? And whatever you decide to serve it in, I mean, you could put it in little ramekins. And like I said, you can put it in a 8-inch square casserole dish. This is so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness.